Acolytes. Today, she tried to channel Asmongold. As a lot of people did, but to be quite honest, you cannot cancel him. Simply as that. He just doesn't do, particularly bad stuff. And the bad stuff that he did, he actually apologized for. So what the F you gonna do? Honestly, like, the guy, as he is, perfection. Just perfection. And let's see what Rev has to say about it.
Hey, what's up guys, Rev here. So today we have some more drama to cover because why not? If you've been paying attention to the channel over the past month or so, there's been a never-ending stream of drama, and one of the participants in this focus of drama has been the Rat King himself, Asmongold, who once again finds himself the target of a bunch of different, well, usual suspects who are trying to accuse him of many crazy things. Now, what did he do this time? Well, recently Asmongold made a take on Twitch and the very big PR crisis they're currently facing thanks to a lot of political streamers who are saying out-of-pocket stuff. And in this clip, we're going to watch...
And by the way, if you don't know, Asmongold, I think, wasn't a political streamer in any kind of way. Then he went in and destroyed the entire thing. Like, he took over everything. It's so effing funny if you look at the timeline. And beautiful.
Asmongold is aware enough, self-aware enough, to understand that he is a part of this network of content creators who are pushing a lot of PR nightmares on a Twitch. And notice that he names certain individuals that will be relevant for the rest of this video. So here's the clip. Again, make sure you recognize names because it will be relevant in just a second.
That's what I would do. If I wanted to optimize ad revenue, you know what I would do? I'd ban politics. That's what I'd do. Just ban it. The odds are that me and Hassan and Tectone and Frogan and Denims and Central Committee cause 90% of the PR problems on the entire website. That is crazy.
Pretty fair take if you ask me.
Yeah, fair enough. And I mean, he's correct. Just ban politics if you actually want to make money on your freaking, advertiser dependent thingy-bob streaming thing. But I think I have a theory that Twitch didn't ban Asmongold by now because they know he will sue them. And he will sue them out of their minds. That's the only thing. I don't think that Twitch is otherwise, like, somehow, because Asmongold brings money in, because he actually has good points. No, nothing of that. Just because he can sue them to their freaking, outage. That's what I think.
But, of course, one of the people named in that discussion is Frogan.
Yep.
Yes, the very controversial Hassan Orbiter who had a lot to say about this clip. So someone on Twitter shared a clip of what we just watched through Dexerto here, and Frogan would quote tweet that saying, "You consider me political because I wear a hijab. I am not like you, and I do not make political content anywhere but typing a tweet once in a while." Very rich coming from Frogan of all people, who is an extremely political content creator, now trying to act like they don't do any of that stuff.
Extremely.
They're above it. They don't participate in anything political. And Asmongold is clearly, by her definition, some racist, some bigot who's only going after her because she wears a hijab. Once again, for the 1000th time, people like Frogan are trying to use their religion as a shield to deflect any criticism.
They try to use the religion and the race as a shield. Yeah, Ref, forgot to point this one out.
That they're facing for the many ridiculous and, yes, political things that they have stated over the past couple of years of their streaming career. And Asmongold would have a response to this, ratioing her in this tweet and the series of tweets would get so much traction. 40,000 likes on Frogan's tweet and 60,000 likes on Asmongold's response saying this: Don't try to use your hijab as a shield for your disgusting behavior. American soldiers deserve PTSD. Arab/Jew racial tier list. Sub goal to make a 9/11 cake. Called October 7th mass murders a revolution. Those are PR problems. Obviously, your religion isn't the problem. You are. And that is very well said.
On point.
Of course, there's a reason I gave this a like, because he really summed up everything Frogan's about very quickly. Not only someone who uses her religion as a shield for criticism, but also someone who has said very political and outrageous things. Everything shared right here is true. These things happened. And that's what Frogan is most well known for. And that's just, part of the controversies she's been a part of. But of course, people would have very normal responses to this, like this weirdo saying Arab/Jew racial tier list, and then calls Asmongold a mom-murdering cockroach man, still pushing the line that not liking Sabra hummus is racist against Jews.
By the way, people like this, I already got about 7 death threats because of this. And no, I am not saying this because of because I'm scared, blah, blah, no. Those people are unhinged. This answer or this tweet is to be expected. And at the end of the day, freaks will be freaks. I just hope that the freaking terrorist supporting SS get cooked at some point. Because I'm gonna be honest, America looks pretty bad if they just let terrorist supporters go around and just spread their propaganda, in my opinion. It looks weak. Very weak.
So besides the disgusting comment about Asmongold's now deceased mother, this is a very ridiculous cop-out about the Sabra hummus stuff.
And that's why I will never hire
This is a tier list that was made, very clearly made, with Jews being in the F tier and Arabs being in the S tier, ranking people by their race. It's very obvious, and you can see people weaponizing the community notes. This is a proposed note saying this: the claim that Frogan created an Arab/Jew tier list is unfounded. The tier list reference was the Who Has the Habibi Pass live panel section at TwitchCon, which has repeatedly been mischaracterized. Both Jews and non-Jews appear on various levels of the list. That's not true. That's not true at all. And also, this note is ridiculous. It's argumentative. This is not the point of community notes, okay? It's not for you to make an argument in the actual note itself. You take these to the reply section. And on top of that, let's keep in mind, this Twitch panel that was so disastrous for Twitch, Chevron and other sponsors, they left Twitch entirely because of the backlash of this panel that they unintentionally sponsored. They were slapped on there as a label as they were going through the list. And again, let's revisit the actual video and subsequent tier list that Frogan posted. This was her own thumbnail promoting the video from that TwitchCon events, where of course you can see she puts Arabs in a higher portion of the list and then puts Jews in the F tier. Very clear message, especially when you consider the fact that Ben Shapiro is put down there in the F tier despite not even being a part of the event. He was not included in the rankings. She just tossed him in here for the sake of this thumbnail to really hammer home that the Jews are in the F tier. Completely ridiculous. And Frogan would have the nerve to respond by saying this to Asmongold's reply. You thinking a tier list about who can use the Arabic word for my love is political is exactly the point I'm making. I don't really know what point you're making at this point. It's desperation. And of course, people would point out very clearly that Frogan has said stuff like this in the past, saying, I'm not going to put my beliefs aside. Everything is political. Every single thing. If you are not open to learning and changing your beliefs, I am done with you. So the person who says everything is political is suddenly not political when she's being criticized for being political. How convenient. But anyways, this would be another angle of this drama where, of course, Hassan Piker would weigh in. He didn't like seeing his orbiters being attacked, so he would weigh in.
By the way, Hassan Piker, if Twitch bans politics, Hassan Piker is particularly effed. Because he has nothing else to talk about. He would probably jump back in a way, maybe. I don't think he would be totally effed, but he would get a lot of shade for it. Like, this would be a very, very, very big hit. And I hope that, double streaming change, that YouTube doesn't allow Hassan to actually stream on this side, because it will just bring harm to everyone else. Just, no, he's a way too big brand risk for everyone.
And as well here saying that basically this entire clip where...
Oh, and what I forgot to say, because of his fans coming to my comment section and doing, the threads, I just want to say that why I'm actually covering the Hassan story is out of pure effing spite. I found it boring for a time. I still find it boring. But just to spite those motherfuckers, I'm gonna continue. Simple as that. Because F them. I'm not gonna get told that I cannot do something just because some lazy fuck terroristic supporters say so.
Asmongold talks about Twitch and how they should ban certain realms of politics, would optimize ad revenue, and he has a very big problem with that and says that he's not a controversial person. Asmongold is, and even threatens to sick his friends in the journalism scene on Asmongold. This is Rich. Go ahead and watch this clip.
Problems that are caused for the entire website is never actually covered by real PR, and it's just the sweatiest fucking losers on Twitter that get mad, and then those sweatiest losers on Twitter will then try to get like actual outlets to cover it. Like, hey, why won't CNN cover this? Why is CNN covering Hassan positively? Like, these guys don't understand. Most people in mainstream media don't know who the fuck Asmongold is, don't know who the fuck Tectone is, don't know who the fuck Frogan is, Denims is, Central Committee is. They barely know who the fuck I am, okay? And the ones who know who the fuck I am in mainstream media obviously understand that, like, I'm a controversial figure, but ultimately a force for good, a force for progressive politics. We are lucky that mainstream media does not know who the fuck Asmongold is. If I wanted to destroy Twitter, I would literally go to every single one of my journalist friends and be like, hey, cover Asmongold. Cover how cover how Twitch is allowing Asmongold to run rampant, to run his fucking dirty ass dick all up and down the goddamn platform, saying the most insane shit. But I'm not like Asmongold. I don't want this fucking platform to perish because I'm selfish. Okay? That's what he's been doing, though. He has been actively trying to get all of these other people to cover Twitch in a negative fashion. It hasn't worked because most people don't know who the fuck Asmongold is. Thank God. Okay? But he's aligned with people who are actively trying to send tens of thousands of emails to the likes of like CNN, NBC, MSNBC, who are working, Dan Stalkman is the guy I'm talking about, who are working in unison with the Anti-Defamation League, also known as the Apartheid Defense League, to try and get all fucking advertisers to remove ads from the platform. Why? Because I'm still on the fucking platform. They are actively trying to make this a PR issue while simultaneously turning around and being like, we should ban politics, actually. It's just a real PR issue. Yeah.
I think the funniest part about that entire clip is that Hassan Piker acts like Asmongold is not relevant. He tries to say that nobody knows who Asmongold is, despite the fact that Hassan himself for the past week has been eternally seething over this information right here.
Before he says it, I also want to point out pretty clearly, the media is clearly biased towards left-leaning people. I mean, for FSEC, you literally have people that burn cars, just go in, harm other people, harm children, just start to offing people. the media just shows everything positive in it. In Germany, it's way worse. Way worse. You can literally stab someone and not even get covered in the media if you have a particular skin color. Drive into people. Mainstream media won't even touch it. They get a little mention, but that's all. A freaking guy who growled around a certain, group of people just went in circles, stabbed a few people. Somebody actually stopped him. And the police, guess who they went for? Yeah, the guy that stopped him. They went for the guy that fucking stopped him from stabbing people. And the policeman got stabbed afterwards. By the way, good riddance in this case. I don't care if the policeman was... If you are dumb enough to actually release a fucking psychopath. Sorry for the innocents, but the policeman was an idiot.
Where it turns out that Asmongold is one of the top 10 most searched YouTube terms on the entire site. And Hassan had a meltdown over that. He was coping, he was seething, he was very jealous about this fact. And keep in mind, Hassan Piker, his name is not even in the top 100. So that really goes to show you a lot of common people do know who Asmongold is. In fact, they know Asmongold more than Hassan, and that should be obvious by the streaming numbers itself, right? Like, Asmongold's getting almost double what Hassan Piker gets. Hassan used to be the top political streamer, now he's been overtaken by Asmongold. And
Someone
he can seethe about this, he can call him a roach, a cockroach, say his room is dirty, all these things, but at the end of the day, people identify more with him than they do with you, and what does that say about someone who's seething about that fact? I don't really know. There's no self-awareness whatsoever.
Yep,
but of course, Hassan would go further and call out Asmongold for bringing hate to Twitch. Yes, he even said he creates a dangerous environment for trans people. Yeah. Every different kind of background, promoting the Trump administration, bringing it to a private Twitch space. Listen to this.
What pain has Asmon caused, though, to be honest? What do you mean? He's the largest political content creator, and he has created a dangerous environment for trans people, for people of every different kind of background. He actively is promoting the Trump administration and bringing it here to a private space like Twitch and normal.
And by the way, I actually think that it's because of the trans people thing. I am all for it that every single or most of the people that are trans on the platform should get banned. It's not because they are trans. I have trans friends, but because they are a toxic waste, and most of them just effing go in and make every single trans person look bad. Like the deer guy that thinks that he's a trans deer or something like mentally ill freaks. Literally. Mentally ill freaks. And then you have someone like Barnaby, that's a positive... Barnaby, sorry. That's a force for positivity for everyone. That woman, now woman, after transitioning, and yes, I am calling, from every trans person that I was talking about, I'm calling her. Guess why? Because she actually got everything done, and it's a force for positivity. We want people like Barnaby. We don't want people like those other freaks that are actually there.
Normalizing that kind of discourse, normalizing that kind of sentiment in the same exact ways that I have normalized, I guess, progressive values. Except my normalization of progressive values does not actually end up causing harm to others. You know what I mean?
That's a lie.
Unless you are a fucking fascist. In which case, yeah, okay. That's fine. Asma recently attacked the trans streamer over a 7-second clip, causing other people to pile on. Yeah, I mean, I'm a fairly large content creator, so it doesn't really bother me as much. Fascists love you. Get the fuck out of here. Point to one singular fascist who has ever said anything positive about me. Are you out of your fucking mind?
Yeah, I think anyone who's halfway reasonable is looking at the stuff and understands how ridiculous Hassan Piker is and how lacking in self-awareness he is. But he was not the only one seething over Asmongold. This is a very weird situation involving the musician Baby No Money. Now, this is someone I've listened to. I enjoy some of his music, but he has been really hyper-focused on Twitter culture, okay? This guy wakes up, and his priority recently has been appealing to people on Twitter. I don't understand what's going on with this guy, but clearly he is fixating very heavily on appealing to the average Twitter freak, okay? And he's made many self-serving, virtue-signaling type tweets. I mean, this is like the average stuff you see. Very stunning, very brave. This definitely goes hard if you're a 14-year-old who's terminally online. Like, this is very...
Yes, and people like this make the entire thing even worse.
Very brave from him. But recently, he came out with a new music video for a song called Mary Poppins, where he shared this as well. Spread love and positivity. And in the caption of this clip right here, it says, at the time of recording, I was unaware of certain individuals' ethical beliefs. As a result, I've chosen to censor those whose values I do not support. Additionally, all funds generated by this video will be donated to the PCRF. Okay, so who's he talking about? Asmongold. Yep, he censored Asmongold in this music video where apparently OTK was featured, and this was recorded some time ago, I believe like a year or two ago, was apparently when this was recorded for this music video. But you can see the only person in this shot that is censored is Asmongold, who's sitting right here, front and center, and he put a little lizard mask on him.
Oh, you innocent young child, Rev. Acolytes. Acolytes. For those who don't know, this pure-hearted young man, this is a Morlock. And I hope you never have the fun of actually meeting one. Those fuckers are disgusting.
I guess. This is very weird because when you do stuff like this, when you say this person's beliefs are so bad that I have to censor them, you're essentially saying everyone else in this shot, I agree with what they're saying. I don't have a problem with what they're saying. And that's a pretty crazy thing to say and a pretty big thing to sign on to. On top of that, it's like, dude, if this was such a big deal to you, if you thought this was so offensive, why didn't you just reshoot the video? You kept this guy in there. You kept Asmongold in the video. You made him the main character of this video. Make no mistake whatsoever. Baby No Money made Asmongold the main character of this music video. He made this a way bigger controversy than it ever would have been if he just left him in the video uncensored. But no, he has to impress a bunch of wackadoos on Twitter, so he censors Asmongold's face and includes him in basically the entirety of the video.
Yeah. By the way, I seen Asmongold actually talking about it, and he just said, well, basically he sees this from the viewpoint of Baby No Money. If he disagrees with his views and doesn't want to be associated with him, well, fair enough. But I am more cynical. I think that it was purely for a PR stunt. And if you disagree with Asmongold's politics that are actually based on reason, I'm gonna be honest, I would dodge people like that. I would dodge people like that heavily.
It's just weird. It's really pathetic. Like, baby no spine, right? Baby no backbone. Many different iterations of that you can make, but this guy clearly backed down. And also, oh, you don't believe with the ethical statements this guy has made? Well,
yeah.
What are we doing? Are you going to talk about Hassan Piker? Are you going to condemn him for saying America deserved 9/11? Are you going to condemn him for supporting terrorist organizations? Are you going to support him for platforming terrorists on his streams for saying all kinds of disgusting out-of-pocket stuff over and over again. Are you going to call him out? Are you going to censor your past content with him? Are you going to say anything? Because I know you're just like iDubbbz. You discovered empathy at the ripe age of whatever you are. Yeah, I don't know, man. Seems kind of weird that you're singling out Asmongold so hard with this, but you're not saying anything else about other people you have very publicly associated with. This whole thing is a ridiculous mess. And of course, Asmongold,
That's why my assumption, I think, is on point.
being the guy he is, he's taking the high road. You know, I'm not going to take the high road. I'm going to say stuff here that he might not do, but he says in good spirit about the situation that basically has no hard feelings and he understands. Well, let's listen to it.
In general, like, this is why, like, and you guys may or may not notice this, right? But, like, this is why I've moved a lot away from, like, collabing and doing anything with anybody else, is because I know that obviously a lot of people don't want to be involved with the things that I do. And so to me, I don't view this as like a bad thing, right? Like, it's just the way it is. And so, like, whether I have like everybody agreeing with me or nobody agreeing with me, that doesn't change the fact of like the way that I feel, right? And it's not gonna like make me feel like I'm a bad person or like upset or anything like that. So does that make sense? Tecton is the back. Well, no, you aren't fully censored. I can see your ass in the background. Well, maybe, right? I don't know if that's really me or not. No. I wish that was my hairline, dude. Wake's hair is that's Wake. Wake has way better hair than I do. And no, definitely not. And do you think censoring you is going to highlight it and make a bigger deal out of it if they just left it alone? Oh, I don't know. I mean, it's up to them. Like, they're going to do the video however they want. I mean, like, it's not up to me. I don't really care. They do whatever they want. So yeah, in general, like, that's how I really feel about it. And so, and this has been the case for a long time, is that, like, I obviously go over and I do a lot of controversial stuff and I do a lot of edgy stuff. And so I don't ever blame people for not wanting to be involved with it or not wanting to be involved with me because of it. Because the amount of, like, hate that I get, and like, honestly, another person that would understand this is Hassan. I mean, Hassan would understand this the same way. Is that a lot of people probably are friendly with Hassan, but they might not want to do things with him publicly because they don't want to put themselves in the crosshairs, right? They don't want to get involved and, like, you know, get attacked by all of these people. And so it's the same thing for me, right? Is that a lot of people, like, you know, like the amount of people that are like I was like number 8 on YouTube for like the most searched for term. There's a lot of people talking about my content, having opinions about me, etc. And because it's been so... It's been so widespread, it puts a lot of pressure on people to not to have a viewpoint on it, right?
Yeah, like I said, he's been a very good sport about this. He's had a sense of humor, and he also added this reply to a related tweet saying, very generous of them to give me more teeth in post-production. Never had someone care like that before. And really, what else is he going to do in this situation other than try to be a good sport about it? Like, I mean, he's kind of put in a very awkward place. But on top of that, you know, just overall, you can see Hassan reacting to this. And this whole thing, as the tweet suggests, stuff like this is why the left keeps losing. This is just, my God.
On point, by the way.
What happened where people are so sensitive, they see someone that has a different opinion or something they don't agree with, and they have to censor them entirely, and they pretend to care so much publicly, but will still include the person and put a big censor label on them and highlight them even more in a music video they could have just simply reshot or not shared at all. But apparently getting this video out was so important they had to include him with the censor, and it seems, again, that Asmongold and his subreddit's having a good sense of humor about this, using the new lizard censor here as a background. But overall,
Morlock.
Everything we talked about today is ridiculous. So much drama over complete nonsense. People who refuse to take any accountability for what they say, and also having no self-awareness whatsoever. But hey, that's Twitch. That's the modern internet experience these days, and yeah. So that's going to do it for this video. As always, feel free to share your thoughts about today's topics in the
Well, the entire thing, just as it is. But, acolytes, good night.